The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Well, hello out there. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And we have a guest today that we will be introducing shortly, but there's a few little items we want to touch upon. I guess CJ will have something he wants to talk about, but I want to remind everybody that Monday is the unveiling of the report from the transition team and about the city finances. Well, we all know where that city finances are from last council meeting, where they've again reaffirmed the fact that the city never knows where their money is, and all they do is spend money and tax and spend some more because they can't account for money. And I urge everybody, if you can see that program, watch it. But I've been told by people that it has not run yet. And there's a problem. Normally they run those things ad nauseum. But you know, the problem is we're like enablers. We enable the city to spend money by continually giving them the money without a fight. Tax increases, fee increases, pay as you throw, all these things. It's like giving a drug addict money to buy drugs. Or drugs. Because the fact is, this city has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt it is incapable of handling its money. Because that report said they don't check how much money they get in, they don't know until the end of the year, and it's a reconciliation, not a true audit. It was a scathing report, and it wasn't as scathing as it could have been. I think they really kind of treaded on some water because they've been hired to replace Hagen Sahadi. But this goes back all the way to '91 when our arbitrator, when we sued the city, said that the city's books were in a total state of disarray. And I may not object to tax increases or fee increases when I know my money is being spent wisely. But when I continue to see more and more people being hired in administration and more pay raises going to people, and government getting fatter and fatter and fatter at the top, and we're getting less and less services, i.e. closing an engine company. Now it's reopened because of public pressure, but that's not the issue. The issue is, should it have been closed? In a day long gone in this city, we had nearly a 300-man fire department, and we paid it all with city money because our tax money was given to essential services, not to political pork. So I urge all of you on Monday night to be in the city council chambers. And I hope we see more than pie graphs and bar graphs and listen to a litany of numbers with no solutions. I want to hear Monday night how we're going to fix this. And the city administrator saying we're going to have this fixed by August sounds just like the city's promise in 1991 at the end of our arbitration, when they said, we'll have this fixed, it'll never happen again, and 24 years later, it's still happening. I'm tired of promises. I want to see action and solutions. CJ, it's yours.
I hope we see some as well, Chip. I mean, it's definitely very interesting to hear what's going on. But we don't actually have the time yet from the mayor's office. And I want to see what happens. But the Tuesday citizens input time with the budgetary audit actually is available online now from frgtv.us. And thanks go out to Rainey Kochman and his staff for putting that up as soon as he possibly could. A few things before I get to our guests, which are federally. Out of our news sources, politicians' taxpayer-funded free ride is about to come to a screeching halt. Gwen Graham, a Democrat from Florida, introduced House Resolution 1399, calling it a common sense idea. What this resolution does, which is now going into, obviously law, is to remove a perk from the Congress and the Senate. No more first-class tickets. No more luxury limos on the taxpayer dime. And it stops now. So we'll see if Congress has the audacity to actually approve this law, because we know better. They're going to lose another perk. Unbelievable. And the last thing, before we get to our guests, news out of Portsmouth, Virginia. Here we go again, decimating our old glory, our American flag. The judges in Portsmouth, Virginia, have ordered Sheriff Bill Watson to remove the American flag from display in his office in the courthouse. The sheriff is absolutely outraged. He can't believe that they don't want to display the American flag in a courthouse. According to Western journalism, the flag display was a gift to the sheriff from the fire department. The beautiful 4x6 frame display features an American flag crafted from old fire department hoses. And it is an absolutely beautiful flag. I've seen the pictures. This is what America is coming to. The heck with the flag. We don't care. Just give us our free money and you can stick it, because we don't care about you or your flag. This is what America is coming to. It's not acceptable. I will not in any way, shape, or form endorse such hate. You came here, or you were born here, and you don't want to have the flag. You work in this courthouse, and the people that are saving you from getting shot on the bench aren't entitled to a display showing the American flag that they're proud of. That sickens me, Chip.
Being Virginia, he may have wanted the Confederate flag. He probably wouldn't have given that order if it was a Confederate flag. But the reality is, you're right, and we're going to do a lot on this on the Wednesday show. But we've made our little intro, and now we're going to introduce our guest, the man who is the neighborhood leader of the Flint Neighborhood Association, which obviously, being someone who was born and brought up and still lives in the Flint, is near and dear to my heart. And I think it's one of the best neighborhood associations in the city, and does a lot of positive work in this community. He's going to, I guess, I don't know what subject he's going to talk about, but he's on the hot seat today. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Carlos Cesar. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chip, and thank you, CJ, for the invitation. And it's an honor for me to be on your show. I follow your show. It's a great show. I liked the way you ended your show last week about the flag. I have to tell you that I'm an American by choice and very proud. Born in Portugal. I have a flag on my windshield on my car. I have a flag in front of my house, and it's all American flags. I'm an American, and I'm very proud to be in this country. And I put once a year the Portuguese flag, because I still honor my flag. It's Day of Portugal. Yeah. The Portuguese flag goes up on my pole under our American flag.
Well, it's wonderful to hear, because as Teddy Roosevelt said in a speech that I read, there's nothing wrong with honoring your ethnicity, being proud of where your parents came from, understanding the culture that they came from, or your ancestors, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as he said, if you're an American, you have to be an American. Your loyalty has to be with this country. And, I think you're a great example, because everybody can say to people who were born in America, well, that's just, you've always been. But someone, as Theodore Roosevelt said, some of the best Americans he ever met were naturalized Americans. And when we see a person like you who has done well in business, who is active in the community, and who honors the flag and appreciates this country, and as you said, you are an American by choice. Not you. It just wasn't an accident of birth. Yes. And I commend you. It was great and inspiring to hear that from you. Really.
And it's out there. Even on my suits, I always have an American flag. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
But I always have that American flag. I'm very proud of that flag. I mean, on your hot seat today, I will give you a choice today.
Okay.
I can be just a regular citizen, I can be the leader of a neighborhood, and I can be the talker for representing the small business, the very poor business in Fall River that cannot afford $750 due membership. So I will speak for those two, because those are always forgotten.
We'll try to get as, I'll tell you, we're going to make you a deal, Carlos. We're going to get as much as we can in today, and if we have to bring you back, we will be glad to bring you back, because we like people like you on the show. You're active in the community, and whether we agree or disagree with a position, we can debate it, but that's not the issue. The thing is, we respect the fact that you're a man who doesn't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. You're out there in the trenches, working for your community, working for your neighborhood, working for your business, and working for the businessmen. And as I said, don't worry, just take it in any order you want. If we don't get it all in, we'll bring you back as much as you need to come back.
I'm free to answer, and usually I say, I don't care how many times you ask me the same question, and when you ask them, could be 5 years down the road. My answer is going to be the same, because I'm not going to lie to you. The lie that I'm going to tell you today, I'm going to remember 5 years down the road.
Yeah, I guess you won't make a good politician then, Carlos.
That's right.
I will never make a good politician.
You're right.
I'll tell you, Carlos, you and I have had numerous conversations on numerous issues, and you're right. You never do change your position, and you always have a good argument.
Yeah.
But, we don't personalize it. We have a great time. We argue, we debate, and
We're still friends.
We're still friends afterwards. And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And, that's how you get good ideas and good possible solutions to problems. And Chip has talked about this numerous times. You have the thesis, the antithesis, this is the way
And
it
the
works.
synthesis.
And
Yep.
the synthesis. And this is the way it works. So we have a good time. But I'm going to bring up something right away.
Sure.
We're looking at this budget the way it is. And we knew last year, Chip and I spoke about it, that this budget was unsustainable. It wasn't going to work. And we know that the pay-as-you-throw was a money grab. I respect your position that it has increased recycling, okay? But also, the option was available for privatization and other options. But pay-as-you-throw was to generate $3 million. And without it now, the administration is saying, well, if we don't get the money, we're going to be short. How is that the responsibility of the people of Fall River? Mainly when the majority of the people of Fall River are not taxpayers. There is a small percentage, 37%, I believe, of the population, which actually pays the taxes. So why is the mishap of the city council and of the previous administration now the responsibility of the people of Fall River? And the lies that we get that if we don't fund it, we're going to lose the fire department. Guess what? We lost it anyways. So what do? What's your opinion, especially as a neighborhood leader? What do you think about that?
I mean, and everybody knows that I was the first one, probably on the first meeting that Waste Zero did the presentation. I was in front of the city council asking the city council to go down this road. And my frustration was, we have our bins to recycle for the past 7 years on the city. A lot of people probably by now, because they're not using it, they probably have a tree, probably as tall as me, on the bins, So here comes the responsibility of the community was to recycle. Because I was recycling, probably the only person on my street recycling, here is a chance for everybody to recycle. So it's going to be straight across the board. Everybody's going to have to recycle. It's going to cost me $1, and I have to say, the city is not making too much money with me. If everybody in the city recycles, the $3 million is not going to be there, because since August till now, I wasted $30 in purple bags. So how can the city lie on making money from the purple bags if everybody really does the right thing? So right there shows you that the purple bag was just a money grabber, because they're not going to recycle, so they're going to be spending those purple bags like coffee in the morning,
Yeah.
So But then the city councils kind of got lost. One with an idea, this is going to kill me for a re-election. The other one, hey, this is going to give me votes for re-election. And then they start thinking about, you know, and right now, that's my position. They all trying to get the re-elected seat back. And that's a big problem I have. But that's besides the point. The thing is, it's people out there that say that they cannot afford to buy the bags. It's people that doing it because it's the right thing to do, what we're supposed to be doing and doing it. And then it's the other group of people that say, no, I will never buy a bag, but I understand that I need to take care of my trash. So they call an outside company, which they know that the trash is going to be handled right. They're going to be recycling after all, and that's it. And let's see what's gonna happen. But I mean, at this point, CJ, it's so much bad information out there. It's so much negative information out there. So the population are really confused. So at this point, we don't know if it's legal, why they're not, you know, charging fees, if this and that. So it's a lot of bad information out there. We need just to sit around the table and start from scratch.
And that has been the big problem. Okay, the state has created a program for the implementation of this. It's supposed to take place over 9 months. Ours took place in less than 9 days. So you know, when you're listening to that, you know, it makes it difficult for people to understand and see where it's at. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you got the city council who's all saying this is illegal. So now everyone's saying, well, then I'm not going to buy the bags. And mm-hmm. I mean, everyone I met since that statement was made, they're in Stop and Shop, they're in Shaw's, they're not buying the purple bags. They're mm-hmm. buying Hefties, you know, or the store brand, and they're saving money. And the thing is that right now, I mean, the new thing is everyone's starting to get the little white cards that say, you know, you're in violation because you're not using the proper receptacle. Purple bags must be used, and they're writing all kinds of stuff on these white cards. And the commentary that's out there is, these cards aren't even worth the paper they're printed on, and they're not. Mm-hmm. So again, the city council and the mayor need to listen to the people of Fall River who say, I can't afford the bags, I need my prescriptions. I can't afford the bags, I need my food. I can't afford the bags, I'm not going to buy them. So if the majority of people are saying that, and I'm not going to buy the lies that say, oh no, everyone's compliant, because we know that's not the case. Mm-hmm. I drove down a street yesterday. Not only are they not using bags, they just throw in the mattresses, the box springs, mm-hmm. the sofas, you know, bikes, everything else on piles.
But CJ,
on top of everything.
The only way that I'm going to respect this person that said I cannot afford to buy a bag is if this person tells me I recycle and my trash I'm putting in a white bag.
And I understand that, Carlos, but I have to interject something here because I'm listening to this, and it really bothers me about this whole pay-as-you-throw, because it's become a diversion from the real problem that pay-as-you-throw is about. Number one, this affects you in all your three capacities: as a citizen, as a business owner, and as a neighborhood association person, because this goes back, as you said, everybody is fixated on this program and whether it's legal, it's not legal. But let's go back to one of my opening comments. It's a diversionary tactic because I may or may not agree with pay-as-you-throw if it was introduced properly, if we were educated properly. But what bothers me about pay-as-you-throw, regardless of whether you can afford it or not afford it, as a businessman, these people are spending money on bags they could be spending at your business. Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons businesses have so much difficulty. We have very poor people here, and they continue to burden them with money. And the fact is, this city is incompetent at anything. We don't make any money on our recyclables. You talk about recycling. Yeah, it's a great idea. Why are we the only city in the Commonwealth that doesn't make money on recycling? We haven't for years. Mm-hmm. This city can't do anything. If you give it to one of the other companies, the commercial companies, they recycle it and make a profit. Mm-hmm. So this city just loves to waste our money. This program is was poorly thought out. It puts a drain economically, and as you said, it is just a money grab. Because if it wasn't a money grab, they would have said, okay, this is the plan. We're going to educate the public. It's going to, and I really don't, I have to disagree about this encouraging recycling. Because to me, the people who recycle will be the people who recycle. You have people that are going to do just the opposite because you told them to do so, and I don't know if it's going to increase. Now, maybe if you use the recycling to reduce some of their fees, they might recycle because now they've got an interest in it. But see, my problem with this whole program is everybody is so worried about fighting over whether it's legal, whether they can afford it, is it good, is it bad? And you know something? They're all valid points. But to me, the biggest point is, and you as a businessman, as a taxpayer, you know, I mean, what is your opinion on the fact that we have a government that seems to make everything harder? It makes it harder to be a citizen and a taxpayer because they continue to take money. As a businessman, they continue to drain money that could go to people to spend. Actually, I think statistically, our family income has actually dropped. We had the second lowest in the state, and now it actually went from 34 down to 31 with some things. And I mean, they continue to drain this money. And this program really is done like everything else in this city. It's done slipshod. There's no accountability, and there's no, and like I said, there was no plan to say, well, we're gonna make money on this deal. We're gonna educate people, and I'm not even sure if this thing is almost they're happy that everybody's all wrapped up in this debate, rather than looking at them and saying, why aren't you giving us the most effective pay-as-you-throw?
And I have to mention this too. They try to close all the doors if the citizen try to go in a different way. That's when the dumpsters fee came in, because whoever tried to sneak out of that back door, guess what? You're going to be charged anyway. You know, so it's like they tried to was a war plan.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to attack. So it's no way out. They are inside this. But with that being said, we need to stop talking about, and we need to go into action. That's the point. Why? Let's table. Let's start in the points, and we need to go from point A to point B, and we're starting now. And the starting now is, and I heard now it's a new deal with the bags, the contract with the bags. Perfect example. Now, if we had a little string attached this that we could not get away with, now that string is cut. So now we can start talking about getting this and getting all the citizens on the same step.
Well, you know, what's very interesting, Carlos, is you were talking about the fee on the dumpsters. This became an absolute money grab, and that's all this has been, and we know that. And, you know, and of course, you know, the previous administration said, we're going to go to 153 firefighters if we don't get this money, if we don't institute this program, which was a lie. 175 was the number all the time. This is what they do. They put the city council against the wall, and they pull out the firearms, and they say, do you want a cigarette or a blindfold? Okay, because they don't have a choice. And this is the big problem we have. They always put them against the wall, and the city council doesn't have a set. And right now it's time for the city council to step up to the plate and grow a set and say, look, this is where I stand. Take your lumps. If you want pay-as-you-throw and the citizens don't want it, and you want it and you vote for it, guess what? At the vote in November, they vote you out of office. That's the way it's going to be.
Exactly. And again, city council, I don't know how they want to they say to the public, we city council, because we care about the neighborhoods, because we care about our citizens and our taxpayers. Guess what? At the end of the day, that's a job. Right there, it's a $16,000 a year job. Every 2 weeks, you cash your job, you check. That's a job. You're working for me. And every business, if you don't do a good job working for your boss, what your boss going to do? They're going to replace you They're going to fire you. They're going to do whatever they need to do to make sure their business don't die and they don't lose money. So we've been losing a lot of money with these people that are working for us. You know, it's like they're not doing a good job. They need all to stand and behind. Like I said on the front of the city council, I don't care if you're against pay-as-you-throw. Just don't go all over the place, changing your mind every 2 weeks. If you against 7 months ago, and you're still against today, and I'm going to respect for you. I'm going to respect you for having and to keep up with that position.
You made two great points. See, the fact is that, number one, in business, if you don't do your job, you get fired.
Exactly.
But in the city government, you normally get a promotion and a pay raise, and that's one of our problems, whether it's the city council or within city government. Department heads, we know there's a department head that blew the CSO grant that we'll be paying for the next 100 years because we blew a grant on the CSO. But the other thing you said was, have a plan, and that's the key. Why can't the city council, why can't we as citizens, whether we agree or disagree with pay-as-you-throw, why, as you said, we should demand of the city council and the mayor and everybody in the community that, look, you come before us, and why can't the city council say, listen, we want the Department of Community Maintenance, or DPW, whatever you want to refer to them as, we want a plan to begin to get paid for our recycles, and then people might recycle because we can show them we're going to use that money to help them, because we've got actually a city council candidate who's not even in the city council, who's already done the research and knows how much they make per ton in communities in this state. Now, why can't Fall River and why can't our city council do as you have to do in business? You have to try to make adjustments to survive.
Exactly. And we need to come together. Communication is very important, and I always say I do what I do because I listen to people. And my neighbor comes to me with an idea. I grab that idea because I know that I'm going to count with this support. He's going to do everything he can to make that a great idea. What I have to do is give him the support that he needs. And that's why sometimes I put 2 events on the same weekend. I have people here, I have people there. Why? Because I listen to them. They bring me the idea. I like the idea. I can make it happen. Let's do it. You in charge of this, you in charge of that. Same thing. A great mayor just have to listen to their constituents and see what the ideas they have and how they can resolve the problem. If you cannot even reach out to them, if you don't even return your call, so it's nothing going to be done because they don't hear from you. Everything that you're going to bring to the fire, they're not going to like it because you didn't have that communication with them. Sit on the table. Let's talk about the best solution for this. And the whole city is going to come together. It's going to say, okay, this is the best solution. So even if it's something that I don't approve, I'm going to support you because the majority, that's what the majority wants. And I'm behind them. I'm here to help. I think that's what this city needs, and I have to say, it's no other city like Fall River when it comes to get together. It doesn't matter for what, if it's raise money for something or they there. You just need to ask for help. And
Carlos
what the mayor
Cesar
needs
for mayor.
and what the mayor needs to do is this: it's reach out for help. We have this trash problem, a huge trash problem. I need ideas. Whoever wants to come and sit down with me, let's put out those ideas on the table, and we're going to pick the best one, the one that the people want to do it, and we're going to try it. At least try it. But at least if something goes wrong, you cannot blame me. That was my fault.